Hello out there. I'm Bobby Youngblood. I'm here to tell you one of my favorite stories. I'm going to read it to you. Oh, this is Bruno. Bruno, do you want to say hi? Oh, he's sometimes shy. Bruno is very cute on camera, but sometimes when he knows he's going to be on camera, he's like, I don't want to. You ever like that? I'm going to read you a story, one of my favorites, called
The Tale of Squirrel Nutkin.
Are you surprised I like squirrel tales? By Beatrix Potter. Beatrix Potter. Bruno likes acorns. Come here. Imagine that. Bruno, here you go. Everybody in my family likes acorns. Are you allergic to nuts? I hope not. If you are, I know you have figured out how to deal with that. The Tale of Squirrel Nutkin. Look at these lovely little pictures right off the bat. Squirrel Nutkin looks like a very excitable little squirrel, doesn't he? Don't they? Let's see what they get into. It says a story for Nora. Nora must have been special to Beatrix Potter. This is a tale about a tale. A tale that belonged to a little red squirrel. And his name was Nutkin. He had a brother called Twinkleberry, and a great many cousins. They lived in a wood at the edge of the lake. Yeah. Bruno, you got your acorn? Good boy. Okay. In the middle of the lake, there is an island covered with trees and nut bushes. And amongst those trees stands a hollow oak tree, which is the house of an owl, who is called Old Brown. There's Old Brown going home to the hollow tree now. One autumn, you know when autumn is? That's fall. When the nuts were ripe and the leaves on the hazel bushes were golden and green, Nutkin and Twinkleberry and all the other little squirrels came out of the wood and down to the edge of the lake. Look at them all. What a big family. Oh my goodness. Wonder what they're going to do down at the lake. They made little rafts out of twigs, and they paddled away over the water to Owl Island to gather nuts. Bruno, do you approve of that? Yes, Bruno approves of that. Each squirrel had a little sack and a large oar, and spread out his tail for a sail. They spread out the tail for a sail. That's a nice rhyme. They also took with them an offering of 3 fat mice as a present for Old Brown. Oh my gosh. And put them down upon his doorstep. What do you think Old Brown's gonna do with mice? Then Twinkleberry and the other little squirrels each made a low bow and said politely,
Oh, Mr. Brown, will you favor us with permission to gather nuts upon your island?
That was very respectful of them, wasn't it? There's Old Brown, and here's Twinkleberry and the others bowing, asking permission. But wait, who's this? Do you see right there behind the tree? Who's that peeking out and not bowing. But Nutkin was excessively impertinent in his manners. That means rude. He bobbed up and down like a little red cherry, singing,
riddle me, rot-tot-tote, a little wee man in a red coat, a staff in his hand and a stone in his throat. If you'll tell me this riddle, I'll give you a goat.
Huh? What? Now, this riddle is as old as the hills. Oh, that explains it. Mr. Brown paid no attention whatever to Nutkin. He shut his eyes obstinately and went to sleep. Okay. There he is. The other squirrels are like, what is Nutkin doing? That crazy little Nutkin. Why is he doing that? The squirrels filled their little sacks with nuts and sailed away home in the evening. Nice pictures. But next morning, they all came back again to Owl Island, and Twinkleberry and the others brought a fine, fat mole and laid it on the stone in front of Old Brown's doorway and said,
Mr. Brown, will you favor us with your gracious permission to gather some more nuts?
Listen, I'm glad that the squirrels are very kind and getting nuts from Mr. Brown, the owl, but I don't know how I feel about them giving mice and moles to the owl. I think owls eat moles and mice. Oh my gosh. But Nutkin, who had no respect, began to dance up and down, tickling old Mr. Brown with a nettle and singing,
Oh, Mr. B, riddle me tea, hitty-pitty within the wall, hitty-pitty without the wall. If you touch hitty-pitty, hitty-pitty will bite you.
Mr. Brown woke up suddenly and carried the mole into his house. Well, that got Mr. Owl's attention now, didn't it? He shut the door in Nutkin's face. Presently, a little thread of blue smoke from a wood fire came up from the top of the tree, and Nutkin peeped through the keyhole and sang,
A house full, a hole full, and you cannot gather a bowl full.
There's old Nutkin now. Nutkin? You're a character. The squirrels searched for nuts all over the island and filled their little sacks. But Nutkin gathered oak apples, yellow and scarlet, and sat upon a beech stump, playing marbles and watching the door of old Mr. Brown. Okay. Did you know squirrels play marbles? I play marbles sometimes. I don't know that I've ever had yellow and scarlet oak apples. Ooh, that sounds really good. On the third day, the squirrels got up and very early and went fishing. They caught 7 fat minnows as a present for Old Brown. You guessed it. They paddled over the lake and landed under a crooked chestnut tree on Owl Island. Here they are. Here's the squirrels fishing. They look like they're pretty good with those fishing poles. Twinkleberry and 6 other little squirrels each carried a fat minnow. But Nutkin, who had no nice manners, brought no present at all. He ran in front, singing.
The man in the wilderness said to me, how many strawberries grow in the sea? I answered him as I thought good, as many red herrings as grow in the wood.
But old Mr. Brown took no interest in riddles. I guessed that. Not even when the answer was provided for him. On the fourth day, the squirrels brought a present of 6 fat beetles, which were as good as plums and plum pudding for old Brown. Each beetle was wrapped up carefully in a dock leaf, fastened with a pine needle pin. Very clever. But Nutkin sang as rudely as ever.
Oh, Mr. B, riddle me ree, flower of England, fruit of Spain, met together in a shower of rain, put in a bag tied around with the string. If you tell me this riddle, I'll give you a ring.
Which was ridiculous of Nutkin, because he had not got any ring to give to old Mr. Brown. Oh my gosh. And here's the other squirrels with their very nicely wrapped up beetles. Other squirrels hunted up and down the nut bushes, but Nutkin gathered robin's pin cushions off a briar bush and stuck them full of pine needle pins. Why? Why? On the 5th day, the squirrels brought a present of wild honey. Now you're talking. It was so sweet and sticky that they licked their fingers as they put it down upon the stone. They had stolen it out of a bumblebee's nest on the tippity top of the hill. I hope they were very careful. But Nutkin skipped up and down singing,
Hum-a-bum-buzz-buzz, hum-a-bum-buzz, as I went over Tipple-Tine, I met a flock of bonny swine, some yellow-necked, some yellow-backed, they were the very bonniest swine that e'er went over Tipple-Tine.
do you get these riddles? Look at them with their cute little honey sacks. Oh my gosh. Just licking their fingers. Oh my gosh. I do love honey though. I do. Old Mr. Brown turned up his eyes in disgust at the impertinence of Nutkin. But he ate up all the honey. Here he is. Look at him. Here he is, disgusted with Nutkin. There's Nutkin just peeking in the window. The squirrels filled their little sacks with nuts, but Nutkin sat upon a big flat rock and played 9-pins with a crabapple and green fir cones. 9-pins sounds like a game that they used to play in the olden days. Oh yeah, maybe it's like bowling. Look at that. Look at that, you're gonna knock over those pine cones. Okay, on the 6th day, which was Saturday, the squirrels came again for the last time. They brought a new laid egg in a little rush basket as a last parting present for Old Brown. But Nutkin ran in front, laughing and shouting.
Humpty Dumpty lies in the back with a white counterpane round his neck. 40 doctors and 40 rights cannot put Humpty Dumpty to rights.
Nutkin does have a lot of funny little riddles, doesn't he? Now, old Mr. Brown took an interest in eggs. He opened one eye and shut it again. Can you do that? One eye and shut. One eye and shut. It's basically like a wink, but a sleepy wink. It's harder for me to close this eye than the other one. Okay. But still, he did not speak. Okay. Nutkin became more and more impertinent. Remember that. Impertinent. Rude.
Old Mr. B, old Mr. B, hickamore, hackamore on the king's kitchen door. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't drive hickamore, hackamore off the king's kitchen door.
Nutkin danced up and down like a sunbeam, but still Old Brown said nothing at all. Oh, gosh. That is quite a little dance that Nutkin's doing there. Oh, Nutkin's got a lot of energy. Nutkin began again.
Arthur O'Bower has broken his band. He comes roaring up the land. The King of Scots with all his power cannot turn Arthur up the bower.
Nutkin made a whirring noise to sound like the wind, and he took a running jump right onto the head of Old Brown. Then all at once there was a flutterment and a scufflement and a loud squeak. The other squirrels scuttered away into the bushes. Oh my gosh. When they came back very cautiously, peeping round the tree, there was Old Brown sitting on his doorstep, quite still, with his eyes closed, as if nothing had happened. Wow. Old Brown is very calm and patient. But Nutkin was in his waistcoat pocket. Uh-oh. This looks like the end of the story. But it isn't. Oh my gosh. It really does look like the end for little Nutkin. Oh boy. You know he ate the mice. You know he ate them all. What's stopping him from eating Nutkin? Old Brown carried Nutkin into his house and held him up by the tail. Oh, I don't like that. Intending to skin him. Ah! But Nutkin pulled so very hard that his tail broke in two, and he dashed up the staircase and escaped out the attic window. What? What? Oh my God. I mean, he escaped, but... Oh my God. Oh. And to this day, if you meet Nutkin up in a tree and ask him a riddle, he will throw sticks at you and stamp his feet and scold and shout. The end. There's Nutkin's half tail. He was so rude to old Mr. Brown. Eek. Oh my gosh. The tale of Squirrel Nutkin. So, I mean, really, I think the lessons are obvious here. Okay? If there's nuts to be gathered, ask nicely for them. Be kind. Don't be rude. Don't be impertinent. Remember that word? And watch your tail. I'm Bobby Youngblood, and it's been a fun joy to read Beatrix Potter to you today. I can't wait to see what we do next. Bye!